All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing with the Beatles re-reactions. We are now on to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, released in 1967. The iconic concept album from the Beatles, of course. This is the album that everyone says is either the best shit ever or it's the most overrated shit ever, and the album's actually mid as hell. Now, me, when I first listened to this album, I gave it a high 8. I said that the album was great, but a little inconsistent and a tiny little bit overrated. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going into this after having every single Beatles album grow on me prior to this, expecting this to grow on me too. I kind of have full faith in the Beatles to be able to, on this second listen, this is my second time listening to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, on this second listen, second reaction, I'm going in looking forward to getting lost in this concept. I'm going in looking forward to getting lost in the super weirdo, out there, bombastic sound of this album, knowing that I already loved it before, and there is a decent likelihood that it even grows on me. I'm finally hearing the 2017 mix. Yeah, we're listening to the 2017 mix this time, which apparently is going to make a world of difference. We will see. Yeah, like I said, the album came out in 1967. It is 13 tracks, 39 minutes. I feel like I don't need to do any more blabbering, really. I feel like I can just dive straight into this shit. Track 1, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Okay, this is a very loud mix immediately. Holy shit, I'm turning this down a little bit.
It was 20 years ago today when Sgt. Pepper taught the band to play. They've been going in and out of style, but they're guaranteed to raise a smile. So may I introduce to you the active number all these years, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
I've always loved how hard Paul McCartney goes on the vocals here. Your grandpa owns an original vinyl pressing of this. That is hype as fuck. That shit's got to be worth a pretty penny. Wow. Yeah, I've always loved Paul's vocal performance on this. He is just going ham on the shouting, on just belting as hard as he can. I fucking adore the vocal performance here. It's one of the more memorable Paul McCartney vocal performances for me. It's got the transition. It's Tidal fucked up the transition. God damn it, Tidal, you son of a bitch. Okay, anyway. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is a solid opener. I'm feeling a high 8 on it. The reason it doesn't get up into 9 or 10 territory is I feel like John's part on the track isn't quite as memorable as Paul McCartney's. Paul McCartney steals the show on that song 100%. Big belting vocal performance where he is just going as wild as he can, just completely falling into this character and letting himself just go as silly and as zany as he wants to. John Lennon's part isn't quite as memorable. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even remember he was on this song full stop. His vocal appearance was kind of like a wait, John Lennon was on the song as well. You know, it is what it is, okay? You know, John Lennon, I'm just saying, worst Beatle, Paul McCartney best. You know, it is what it is. But no, seriously, it is a great opener. I just wish that John Lennon's part was matching the energy of Paul's. I wish it was, you know, had that same level of hype. Up next we have With a Little Help from My Friends. Which, you know, this is one of the songs I remember because this song's iconic.
What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
Kind of wild that we're getting Ringo on the second song. Usually they save this towards like the final third of the album, you know, but we're getting Ringo on the second song. We're getting Ringo right out of the gate. Go with Ringo's song, it is. We all know Ringo is always on some bullshit.
What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be
Better than Octopus's Garden? No. Listen to me. I've said this multiple times throughout this series so far when I've had to defend this song. Octopus's Garden is not only the best Ringo song, it's also a contender for my favorite on Abbey Road. That song is whimsical as hell. The song is playful as hell. It's pretty. It's cute. It's so fucking fun. It's so memorable. Ringo's vocals on that track fucking slap. Genuine contender for my favorite song on Abbey Road.
Are you sad because you're on your own? No, I get by with a little help from my friends. Get high with a little help from my friends.
I've mentioned this on 4 albums at this point because I need to keep going to bat on that song, you know? For that song, sorry. Ringo seems like the one guy in the group who never takes things personally. Like, Ringo's just so damn charming on this track, man. This vocal performance is so likable. Like, he's just chill, exactly. He's chill as fuck on this track. Great melody. Solid ass backing vocals. I love the simplicity of this song as well. It just being simple. Chords on the piano. Nice kind of swingy drum beat. Ringo giving a very suave, charismatic ass vocal performance as well. I got no complaints with this song. It's iconic for a reason. I think this track absolutely fucking slaps. You know, an incredible follow-up to the first song. A nice slowdown after the first song as well. The first track is this big, bombastic, colorful fucking fireworks display to kick off the album. Then we get something that's kind of chill, kind of low-key, kind of showing how much aura the album can have as well. Feeling a solid 9 on this track. Good shit. Lucy in the Sky. Oh my god. With a little help from my friends. Followed by Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. 2 iconic tracks back to back.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees.
This is the first taste of like the weird shit on the album.
Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope eyes. Cellophane flowers of yellow and green towering over your head. Look for the girl with the sun in her eyes.
This guy think he Tame Impala. Like, such an abrupt shift. But oh my god, it works so well. You get this weirdo John Lennon vocal performance, these crazy ass vocal effects, everything feeling like it could be one of the trippiest moments on Revolver. Paul McCartney comes in with like the just 10 out of 10 fucking pop hook. Catchy as hell, electric vocal performance, the tempo shift on this track just injects so much energy and life here. This shit is so fucking good. Oh my god. Anytime it's like been a while since I've listened to this song and I like listen to it again, it's like I have to adjust myself to just how good this track is. It's kind of insane.
The rocking horse people eat marshmallow pies. Everyone smiles as you drift past the flowers that grow so incredibly high. Newspaper taxis appear on the shore, waiting to take you away. Climb in the back with your head in the clouds and you're gone. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Sounds like a song from the devil.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Picture yourself on a train in a station with plasticine pauses with looking glass ties. Suddenly someone is there.
The song from
at
God?
the turnstile. The girl with
The chorus feels like it's delivered from God, and then the verses feel like they're delivered from Satan. The verses are just so fucking weird and dodgy, and they feel like the song is melting in front of you, and everything just snaps back into place on the chorus, and it's all colorful and kind of has that sense of wonder and joviality, you know, that the previous two songs have presented.
kaleidoscope Lucy in the sky with diamonds. 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 Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Decent fade out. Yeah, this song is like an easy 10 to give out on this album, but a deserved 10. Yeah, a track that feels like it's simultaneously being delivered from Satan and God. A track that can be super psychedelic, creepy, and dodgy in one breath, and then as hooky and as poppy and as colorful as the album gets in general in another. This is a perfect display of where the band are at this point in what John can bring to the table and what Paul can bring to the table. You know, showing the variety in their two different styles, the psychedelic elements versus the Beatles being a pop and rock band, and sort of fusing the two into one. And I think that the way they're able to do that with just this abrupt tempo and time signature switch, completely changing out the instruments being used, it's magical. Legitimately magical. Getting better.
It's getting better all the time. I used to get mad at my school. I can't complain. The teachers that taught me weren't cool. I can't complain. They're holding me down, turning me round, filling
Oh,
me
absolutely,
up
yeah,
with
immediately.
I've got to admit, it's getting better, a little better all the time.
Like what John brings to the table on this album is like stuff that matches or exceeds the level of weirdness and kind of the alien qualities of Revolver. What Paul brings to the table here, like this is like, it feels like a fucking like piano rock song, you know? Genuinely. It's crazy just how different of voices you get on this album between the two. But their styles feel like they complement each other so well because they know how to play off of each other and they know how to use that contrast to a song's advantage. Name one wrong thing John Lennon has done. Let me see here. This is from quite a reputable news source as well. Unlucky John Lennon.
We used to be angry young man, me hiding the head in the sand. You gave me the word, I finally heard. You're doing
He wore glasses. True.
to admit it's getting better, a little better all the time. I have to admit it's getting better, it's getting better since you've been mine. Getting so much better all the time. It's getting better all the time.
Yeah, it definitely is sarcastic. It reads as that 100%.
It's getting better all the time. Better, better, better. I used to be cruel to my woman. I beat her and kept her apart from the things that she loved. Man, I was mean, but I'm changing my scene, and I'm doing the best that I can. I admit it's getting better, a little better all the time. Yes, I admit it's getting better.
The soundscape there is great,
It's getting better.
but the lyrics are a little...
Since you've been mine, getting so much better.
John really wrote that and had Paul sing it.
Better all the
I mean, John was harmonizing.
It's getting better all the time.
The Dexter meme, exactly.
Getting so much better all the time.
Puts the harm in harmonizing. That's a fucking bar right there. Jesus. Apt description indeed. This song is a low 9. A great, catchy, upbeat, kind of peppy, piano rock sounding pop track. A perfect display of just how stark the contrast between John Lennon and Paul McCartney is. Where John Lennon, again, is providing the weird, out there, dodgy, creepy shit. And I say dodgy, creepy shit in a good way, by the way. And Paul McCartney is here just creating some fucking bangers. Creating this upbeat, piano rock sounding track where it feels like he is just trying his best to have a song that feels as colorful, as vibrant, as bouncy as possible. And yeah, the two, again, they know how to play off of each other. They know how to contrast those two tones so well that you can feel a little bit of it being sprinkled throughout this track, especially in the, how would I describe it? The John Lennon verse. You know, in the John Lennon verse of the track, you know, you see a little bit of the sound play being sprinkled in, and then it goes straight back into just, you know, the simple piano stuff, the bouncy drum beat shit like that. It's I'm surprised at how well this album is kind of balancing those two aspects. I don't remember the album being so focused on that, but these first handful of tracks have really displayed that is like a big point of improvement and a big way that this album stands out is it is a lot of contrast between John and Paul. It's fun. It's fun to see. This album is off to a way better start than I remember. Like, immediately, I'm just 100% invested. I remember the album being, like, enjoyable, but not having this level of engagement. But no, I'm, like, 100% locked in with this shit so far. This is definitely, to start with, a more enjoyable listen, and I'm hoping it can keep it up. I'm hoping the minor inconsistencies that I remember from the midpoint don't still apply. Fixing a hole.
I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops my mind from wandering where it
One of your
will
favorite
go.
Paul songs? Damn. on the set, I see.
And it really doesn't matter if I'm wrong, I'm right. Where I belong, I'm right. Where I belong. See the people standing there, disagree, but never win. Wonder why they don't get in my door. I'm painting the room in a colorful way. And when my mind
John and Paul play bass together on this? Damn.
there I will
I'm gonna check that. Nah, it says here just Paul McCartney on bass. We're doing them in order, so I'm going to Magical Mystery Tour next.
If I'm wrong, I'm right. Where I belong, I'm right. Where I belong. Silly people run around, they worry me, but never asking me why I don't get past.
Creative freedom, introspection, and allowing the mind to wander, huh?
For a number of things that weren't important yesterday, and I still go.
Ringo Discog after this series, of course. The best albums ever.
Fixing a hole where the rain gets in, stops my mind from wandering where it will
Just feels like a song from early Beatles, but with more circus elements. This is definitely the weakest of the bunch so far.
Fixing a hole where the rain gets in, stops my mind from wandering where it will go.
This is a well-written track, it's a catchy track, but it doesn't quite have that Sgt. Pepper's tone. You know, it feels like this could have landed on a handful of other Beatles albums. It doesn't feel like it carries over that very distinct theatric, slightly darker at points, more colourful at points as well. It kind of sits in kind of just an in-between state, if that makes sense. This is a solid song. Again, it's catchy. It has memorable moments. I think that Paul McCartney's vocal performance here in particular is incredibly solid. And again, I like the kind of bouncy nature that he brings to this track rhythmically again. It's just the least interesting of the bunch so far. It's felt like just another Beatles song, you know, as opposed to the first 4 tracks where all of them were brought something super interesting to the table. They all had something very interesting to say. This track kind of just feels like, okay, well written, catchy enough, finds itself at a high 7 for me. She's Leaving Home, up next.
Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock as the day begins,
Another song in 3/4.
silently closing her bedroom door, leaving the note that she hoped would say more. She goes downstairs to the kitchen, clutching her handkerchief.
Brian Wilson cried when he first heard this before they even recorded it, when Paul showed it to him. Damn.
The back door key. Stepping outside, she is free.
Fantano said this was the weak point of the album. Tut tut, Fantano.
Lying there, standing alone at the top of the stairs, she breaks down and cries to her husband, "Daddy, our baby's gone." We never thought of ourselves. She's leaving. Never a thought for ourselves.
Oh my god, that falset, beautiful.
She's leaving home after living alone for so many years. Friday morning at 9 o'clock, she is far away.
Oh, that string arrangement too. This recording is so good. So fluid.
Meeting a man from the motor trade.
The vocals are nice and spacey, but the strings feel very intimate. Feels like the strings are filling out the space in the vocal recording. It does sound like Pet Sounds. I would agree. It does remind me, especially vocally, of Pet Sounds. Absolutely. This song is absolutely fucking delightful. Feeling a flat 9 on this one. Just a very pretty acoustic track with an incredible string arrangement over the top. Fucking stunning Paul McCartney vocal performance. Those falsettos, the incredible backing vocals as well, kind of having a nice call and response moment on this track as well. Marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Yeah, showing that they can do a much more stripped back song on the album and still have it feel tonally consistent, still having it feel like it adds to the world that this album is building. Absolutely beautiful. And it's a well-written track as well. The story on this song is solid. It's not like the highlight of the song for me. I think it is like the instrumental and kind of just the beautiful simplicity of this track that makes it work for me. I'm not like head over heels for the writing on this track, but it is well written. Being for the benefit of Mr. Kite.
For the benefit of Mr. Kite, there will be a show tonight on trampoline. The Hendersons will all be there. Later, Pablo Bank.
I disagree.
What a scene. Over men and horses, hoops and garters, lastly through a hogshead of real fire.
I feel like you can enjoy an album and dislike a song on it.
Will be second to none. And of course, Henry the horse dances the waltz. When Mr. K performs his tricks without a sound, and Mr. H will demonstrate 10 Somersets he'll undertake on solid ground. Thing being some days in preparation, a splendid time is guaranteed for all. And tonight Mr. Kite is topping the bill.
Yeah, the production is fucking fantastic. Crazy soundscape for a song from 1967. Genuinely. Now, I am more in love with the production aspects of this track than I am with the song on the whole. I'm not too crazy on John Lennon's vocal performance here. I feel like the song pacing-wise is a little bit on the sluggish end, but the production here is so fucking like spellbinding. It's crazy how good the production on this song is, dude. It has some of the best sound play of the entire album. It's like ridiculous that a song from 1967 is able to sound as legitimately futuristic and as legitimately haunting and vibrant and saturated as this. It's crazy. Genuinely crazy. I would see myself returning to this track simply just to get enveloped in how incredible this production is. But the song itself, I'm not like head over heels for. I think the song itself is fine. I'm feeling a flat 8 on this one. It really just is the production that carries. Within You, Without You. Oh, this is the song I didn't like on the first listen. I remember I didn't like this song on the first listen, and I got so much shit for it, and then I listened to it again, and I was like, wait, hold on, this song's kind of peak. I really appreciate the sequencing of this album. It's felt like it's kind of fluctuated in terms of the way it's moved between its styles. Every single song has felt like a step in a specific direction and then a step back this way. Whereas with other albums, it's felt like the Beatles can maybe at points be a little bit like all over the place, and they can kind of just bounce back and forth between things quite drastically. This has felt like it's had a decent amount of like actual ebb and flow. It's felt like everything has been very specifically sequenced to actually be cohesive. And obviously with this being a concept album, it feels like a massive amount of emphasis has gone into cohesion here, where that won't necessarily have been a factor on some of their previous albums, because I guess at the time with albums in general, that wouldn't really matter. I guess it would just be the songs that would matter. But here, it feels like the actual placement of these tracks is actually perfect. Genuinely.
When we find it, to try our best to hold it, but with our love, we could save the world if they only knew. Try to realize it's all within yourself. No one else can make you change. And to see you're really only very small, and life flows on within you. And
Look at George, so inspirational. I kind of agree. The melodies definitely aren't the standout here. It's it's all in the instrumental. The instrumental's stunning. This percussion is fantastic. The way the Eastern elements are implemented here is so... I don't know, this instrumental is luscious. It's tasteful as hell. I don't know how I feel about the song still going, though. That felt like a great place to end. This song didn't need the final third at all. I'm a little confused as to why the track keeps going beyond the 3-minute and 40-ish second mark. It feels like after that instrumental break, it's such a satisfying, natural place for the song to end. And George is like, but wait, there's more. And the song just keeps going and going and going. And I start looking at my watch and I'm like, can we get the next song, please? I mean, this track's fucking fantastic. For the first 2/3, I think it has the best instrumental on the entire album. George's melody is maybe not the strongest, but the writing is absolutely fascinating, and I think that, again, this is a great example of how spotless the Beatles' production has gotten at this point. Like, legit, especially with this updated mix as well. This sounds absolutely fucking... Like, the soundscape here is impossible not to get completely lost in. All of these beautiful textures, from the percussion to the more harsh Eastern influences that are being thrown into the mix. The beautiful fucking string arrangement as well. It's just the pacing and melodic elements of the track... perfect. I'm feeling a solid 8 on this one. Solid 8. I feel like if the song ended at around the 3-minute 42 mark, that would go up to like a solid to high 9. It's just the fact that the track feels like it starts dragging its feet and getting a little bit indulgent by the end, and I'm like, okay. But legit, the song is still great regardless of those factors. I feel like on a casual listen, that wouldn't be quite as much of a detriment when I'm just kind of getting lost in the sound and not really caring about how the album's flowing too much. When I'm 64.
When I get older, losing my hair, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine, birthday greetings, bottle of wine? If I'd been out till 2:45, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Yeah. Nice bit of juxtaposition between the tracks, absolutely. Going from like the crazy lengthy Eastern influence track into another bouncy kind of silly whimsical one. Again, just interesting track placement. It's your most played song on this album.
You can knit a sweater by the fireside. Sunday mornings go for a ride.
You love the adorable classical 60s colourful whimsy, you know? You find that you love Paul's songs on this? Paul feels like the star of this album. It's weird. Rubber Soul and Revolver felt like the Beatles transitioning out of John Lennon being the front man and it being John and Paul as the front man, with George Harrison trying to work his way into there. This is a very like Paul McCartney-centric album. John and George have had their moments to shine so far, but it's really felt like Paul McCartney is the driving force of this album. And, you know, Paul being my favorite Beatle and me typically gravitating towards his songwriting and what he brings with his tracks musically as well, it's given me another little bit of like heightened appreciation for this. I'm liking seeing more Paul McCartney. You know, it's not anything I'm ever going to complain about.
Every Every summer we can rent a cottage in the Isle of Wight. If it's not too
The Isle of Wight is I used to go to the Isle of Wight every year. It's lovely. Not been there in a while though.
Grandchildren on your knee.
John was busy taking LSD at this point.
Chuck and Dave.
The whole idea with Sgt. Pepper's was Paul's. That makes sense.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line, stating point of
Paul
view.
album, but Lennon wrote the two best songs, Lucy and A Day in the Life. Yeah.
Precisely what you mean to say. You're sincerely wasting away. Give me your answer.
I'm surprised at how much I love this, dude.
Mine forevermore.
It kind of has like an old, light-hearted film soundtrack quality to it.
64. Hoo.
Yeah, with some of these horns and just the general arrangement of this track, it kind of has like an old, colorful, kind of uplifting, kind of goofy and charming film soundtrack quality to it that I kind of adore with that song. That track is so fucking lovely. Legit. It's simple. It's a sweet little ballad. Just, Paul asking this person that when he's an old ass man, which he is now an old ass man, would she still be there for him, taking care of him, making sure that he's staying out of trouble and making sure he's okay. It's cute as all hell. That song is absolutely adorable. And for that reason, gets a flat 9. Sgt. Pepper came from McCartney mishearing salt and pepper on a flight. All of the best ideas come from the strangest places, I suppose. Lovely Rita up next.
Lovely Rita, meet a maid. Nothing can come between us. When it gets dark, I tow your heart away. Standing by a parking meter, when I caught a glimpse of Rita, filling in the ticket in a little white book. In a cap, she looked much older, and the bag across her shoulder made her look a little like a military man. Lovely Rita, meet a maid. May I inquire discreetly, when are you free to take some tea with me?
Yeah, the bass has been great across the whole album, absolutely. Production in general has been really strong. These mixes and the balancing is so good. Nice chunky bass. The high end has a lot of space as well.
Took her out and tried to win her. Had a laugh and over dinner. Told her I would really like to see her again. Got the bill and Rita paid it. Took her home and nearly made it. Sitting on the sofa with a sister or two. Oh, lovely Rita, meet a maid. Where would I be without you? Give us a wink and make me think of you.
Yeah, I don't know. You get two more, uplifting, upbeat, light-hearted tracks back to back. This song being more of a direct love song about him, just, I don't know, having this very forward feeling of love and appreciation for this person. Again, compared to the relative simplicity of the last track, this one's a lot more up-tempo, has, again, a lot more of that bouncy quality that I feel like Paul McCartney's been bringing to this album a lot of the time. The writing here is a lot more direct and a lot more forward as well. This track, it feels like it's kind of in line with the previous one, just in a lot more of a pop-centric skin, I suppose. I give this one... I give this one like around the same score. It's like a low 9, you know? It's around the same score. Good morning, good morning. I remember this song.
To save his life, call his wife in. Nothing to say, but what a day. How's your boy been? Nothing to do, it's up to you. I've got nothing to say, but it's okay. Going to work, don't wanna go, feeling low down. Heading for home, you start to roam, then you're in town. Everybody knows there's nothing doing, everything is closed, it's like a ruin. Everyone you see is half asleep, and you're on your own, you're in the street. After a while you start to smile, now you feel cool. Then you decide to take a walk by the old school.
Mix here is absurd.
Nothing has changed, it's still the same.
It is a very chaotic mix.
I've got nothing to say, but it's
It feels
okay.
necessary for this track, though. Should have been called A Day in Life.
People running
True.
blind, it's 5 o'clock everywhere in town.
They're not from Sheffield, though.
Everyone you see is full of
They're not from
life.
Sheffield, they're from
It's time to
Liverpool.
leave the wife. Somebody needs to know the time, glad that I'm here. Watching the skirt, you start to flirt, now you're in gear. Go to a show, you hope she goes. I've got nothing to say, but it's okay.
Pet sounds, yes, these are actual pet sounds. Liam Gallagher is a humble man and knows his place for real. Yes, one of the most humble people on the planet, Liam Gallagher, of course. Yeah, I really love the, again, just super bombastic, unbalanced, out of whack, chaotic energy that track brings. I'm feeling another low 9 on that one. It was fun as hell. I love the repeated chants of good morning in the background. It literally feels like that feeling of, you know, not knowing where the fuck you are when your alarm goes off. You know, you've just woken up. You've got this fucking blaring sound next to you. It's that it feels like that split second moment of what the fuck, where am I, what's going on when you get awoken by your alarm clock. It feels like that literally being embodied in a song. It's impressive as hell. Again, super chaotic mix. It's unbalanced in a way that actually feels like it's in line with what the song's trying to get across. And I don't know. The song that single-handedly invented hip-hop music, guys. Ringo invented hip-hop. Because remember, guys, all hip-hop is drums. Remember that. Guys, Ringo invented hip-hop.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ringo learned to play chess during these sessions. That's actually kind of all rare.
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We'd like to thank you once again.
This album has gone by really quick, honestly.
Pepper's one and only Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's getting very near the end. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts.
Yeah, it's been a very, like, I don't want to say guitarless album, but we've had a distinct lack of guitar on a lot of these songs. Oh, and the transition into A Day in the Life, it's so peak. Yeah, the reprise, however the fuck you're supposed to say that word, of Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is very fun. A nice, energetic penultimate moment before going into the epic A Day in the Life. I'm feeling a high 8 on that little return to the track. Now we have like one of the best songs of all time. Spoilers, this is one of my favorite songs ever made right here, okay? Legitimately like a top 30, top 20 song ever.
I read the news today, oh boy, about a lucky man who made the grade. And though the news was rather sad,
A Day in the Life or Tomorrow Never Knows, this.
well, I just had to laugh. I saw the photograph. He blew his mind out in a car. He didn't notice that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared. They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the House of Lords. I saw a film today, oh boy. The English army had just won the war. A crowd of people turned away, but I just had to look. Having read the book, I'd love to turn you
How do I interpret the meaning of this song? I don't know.
Woke up, fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head,
Like,
found the way down.
I could see this song as being like a series of vignettes. I could see this song as being like the intro being like the end of the nightmare or the end of the dream that this album has been, and then ending on a nightmare and jumping into being awake. I could see this song as a drug-fueled roller coaster of emotions happening whilst in the middle of a trip. I've no fucking clue what this song means.
Stairs and drank a cup, and looking up, I noticed I was late. Found my coat and grabbed my hat, made the bus in seconds flat.
Gotta restart the album now.
Found my way upstairs and had a smoke, and somebody spoke and
Pause
I
is
went
criminal.
into a
I've heard this song a
dream.
million times. It went into a dream, yeah. Entire video ruined. I paused a song I've heard like 50 times.
I read the news today, oh boy. 4,000 holes in Blackburn, Lancashire. And though the holes were rather small, they had to count them all. Now they know how many holes it takes to fill the Albert Hall.
That I talked about this in the greatest songs video or viewers' favorite songs video, but this entire final verse is some of the most unnerving shit ever. Genuinely, the concept of 4,000 holes randomly appearing, no explanation, and just counting them and then they're just there. There's something about that that's like creepy as fuck to me. I don't know why. That imagery is so like. He's talking about potholes. Is he actually talking about fucking potholes? Because if so, that ruins the eeriness of this final verse. That's cringe. He read it in the news. Wow, that's ruined my immersion with the final verse of this song. Wow, cringe. Unlucky. Unbased. It's an 8 instead of a 10. Exactly. Masterpiece, yeah, it's one of the best songs ever made. Genuinely. Great frequency. Yeah. A Day in the Life is one of the greatest songs ever conceived. It's in like my top 30, top 20 songs of all time, quite handily. I've always said before that I think the Beatles are an overrated band that are capable of creating some of the best music ever. And this is an example of them creating some of the best music ever. This is one of the most unnerving but fucking stunning tracks ever. Such a weird structure, such odd vignette style lyricism, the musical storytelling, the way that this kind of bookends this album, being unsure whether you're in a dream or if you've woken up from the dream or if you're still inside of it or whatever. The way that this track constructs such simple ideas and makes them feel so legitimately, like, giving you that feeling of like your skin crawling, just the image of someone killing themselves in a car and people just standing and looking, or the imagery of like the English winning the war and everyone just acting as if nothing happened. It's conformity mixed with desensitization, all put into this track where the midpoint of this album feels like it's from the perspective of one of those people just going through this routine and being so deaf and blind to what's going on around you and not caring until you fall into a state of like a daydream. This song could have a million different meanings, and that's one of the things I love about it the most, is that this track legitimately, you could apply so much different shit to this, and all of it would make sense equally. I absolutely adore this track. Again, this is an example of the Beatles legitimately being capable of creating some of the best shit ever. Unmatched songwriting, unmatched production, unmatched lyricism, unmatched performances, crazy song structure, and one of the greatest album closers of all time. Easy. Is that enough dick sucking? Does that redeem the minor gripes I've had with the Beatles in the past that I've not been allowed to have? This proves I'm gay. I feel like the fact that I was in a relationship with a guy a couple of years ago proves that I'm gay. But, you know, is what it is. Not an 11. Disliked. Damn. I'm cooked. Anyway, that was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. This album has grown on me. Like every single Beatles album, the second time around, even though none of these were actually second listens, they were all like third or fourth listens. On this second set of reactions, it's grown on me. Same as the rest. I think that this album maybe isn't the strongest in its concept. I don't care about the concept of this album at all, but I think that concept allows the sequence of this album to be a lot stronger. It feels like it's a lot more sonically streamlined, and it actually has a sense of ebb and flow. It has a sense of consistency between these tracks. Some of them are stark contrast, but they feel incredibly intentional. It feels like every single moment of this album is placed for the sake of complementing the last, instead of just being its own individual catchy song, if that makes sense. I think that this is legitimately, maybe from memory, the best sequenced Beatles album. From memory. I don't know about Abbey Road. I don't know about Magical Mystery Tour. But based on like my memory of how those two albums kind of flow. This is probably their best sequenced album, in my opinion. This is the Beatles at reaching their A game in terms of production as well. George Martin's production here is the best it's been on any of their albums thus far. This has so many entrancing, spellbinding soundscapes. Of course, the updated mix helps with that, absolutely, but I think it's all in how these instrumentals are constructed, the resources at the band's disposal, and how George Martin is able to take these elements and turn them into legitimate musical world building that makes this as fascinating of a listen as it is. This feels like the Beatles entering just another level creatively. I really found myself getting lost in the aesthetic of this album this time around. I really found myself getting lost in the flow, in just how great the writing, the actual construction of these tracks were. It was fascinating to sit there and think about how these songs were even recorded. Imagining the band in the studio, constructing A Day in the Life, constructing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, constructing Within You, Without You. It's just something that, like, kind of boggles my mind that in the 60s they were able to create shit that sounds this legitimately forward-thinking, this legitimately ahead of the curb. Like, I'm impressed as hell by this album. This is better than I remember by a decent bit. I fucking adored this on this listen. Not a single dull moment, even though I wasn't the craziest on Fixing a Hole this time around. I'm going to run the numbers, and I will tell you guys what my overall score for the album is this time around. Sounds about right, ladies and gentlemen. I am feeling a flat 9 on this album this time around. Part of me kind of wants to increase that by a couple points for how incredible the flow of the album is, but I would also deduct a couple points from that because I think the concept is flimsy and a little uninteresting. But, you know, it evens itself out at a flat 9. There you go. The Beatles' third 9 out of 10 that I've ever given them. There you go. Scoring from a high 8 to a 9. Yeah, I think this album is fantastic. I think that it's maybe not worthy of all the praise it gets. I don't think it's the most fucking genius piece of music ever conceived. I don't think it's the greatest concept album of all time. But it's just a consistent, creative, colorful, and vibrant excursion that feels like the Beatles pushing themselves creatively and challenging themselves in a way that also challenges the listener and creates something that's so satisfying and feels like the deeper I dig, the more I get out of it. Good shit. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below and how it compares to other Beatles albums for you. Massive thank you again to Chivo for editing this video. He has edited all of these Beatles re-reactions, so yeah, I greatly appreciate it. Over here in a playlist somewhere on the screen, you can see all of my previous Beatles re-reactions, my original Beatles reactions, my original tier list. If you're watching in the future, you can see my new tier list and ranking of all of their albums as well. Definitely check those out if you haven't. Like and sub if you haven't as well. We're on our way to 4K. I will see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye-bye.